What's wrong, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and this might have been the worst post of all time. It's been a long time since I could confidently say that something broke the internet. And this woman's single tweet has, or X post, I guess we'll say, has sent her into hiding. She has privated her Twitter account. She has gone completely off grid after basically everybody in the world made fun of her. And the bigger picture here that I really want to talk about, yes, we're going to look at the post itself and then the replies and some of the breakdown. But like, I don't like seeing people be so like deranged. This is sad. Like, I feel bad for this woman that she lives a life like this. And it is just brutal. It says, an awful AWFL, I don't know, that's some sort of car person, I don't know, made a post about Trump's crime crackdown, and it broke the internet. I want to let you guys know all week long, we've got Sam Tripoli live today at 2 Eastern. We've got Count Dankula. We've got Andrew Wilson. We've got guests for days this week, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you tune in. We'll be live on the main channel, too, so that you guys can sample the show and see if you like it. We'll see how it works out. The most delusional, destructive demographic on the planet has struck again. No, I'm not talking about Islamic terrorists or Chinese communists. I'm talking about the affluent, white, female liberal. They are, in fact, I took some backlash from my cousin this weekend after my repeal the 19th post. I told her it was a joke, but I mean, at least for this woman, it really wasn't a joke. In the wake of President Trump's crime crackdown, which reportedly is heading to Chicago next week, an absolute unit of an AWFL, I don't know what that's, it must be an acronym for this red state website. I don't really know what that means. It just, is it awful, or I don't know what that word means. Am I just a dork? Probably. Oh, I bet you it's affluent woman, something liberal. I'm guessing that's what that, I guess. Affluent white female liberal. Okay, got it. Affluent white female liberal. Okay. An awful step forth to deliver a post that broke the internet. Her name is Jill Simonilio. Don't care. And she wants you to know that she was carjacked in Chicago. By the way, I looked at her Twitter feed. She's actually been talking about her carjacking for 7 years. It was that, and why wouldn't you? It's got to be one of the most traumatic things that has ever happened, that can happen to a person. It's not, obviously there are things that are worse, but I'm sure it's extremely traumatic. It stays in your mind for a long time. She wants you to know that she was carjacked in Chicago. But not only that, she had her arm broken by the criminals who attacked her. In fact, she posted pictures of her bruising to prove it, along with a smiling selfie in her cast. Through all the pain and turmoil, though, she was not deterred. Her total hatred of Donald Trump shone through, as she'd announced she'd rather be carjacked and beaten than have the president help stop crime in her city. Jill is the alpha awful that had spoken, and the internet broke. Here's Caitlin saying, this is a legit insane post. Now you can see she's gone private before we can. She did try doubling and tripling down after the fact, and I should have followed her because I knew she was going to go private because she was just getting crushed. This is a legit insane post. Dear Donald Trump, I've been carjacked in Chicago with my arm broken, and I still don't want you or your troops here. TIA, I don't know what that means. Trump is awful. I don't know. By the way, there are no red hats here. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Juicy Sommelier told me that there were at least 2 men in downtown Chicago who were wearing red Trump hats, and they had said that this was mega country. As ratios go, I've never seen one quite as bad as this. She eventually deleted her post, but not before it garnered 18,000 replies. By then, the damage was done, and the internet had been officially broken. By the way, I have an archive. We're going to look at some of the replies because it's great. Comfortably Smug wrote, Your most ruthless enemy is not some dude in the Middle East with an AK, an RPG, and a ski mask. Your most ruthless enemy is some chick in America with a liberal arts degrees, an SSRI prescription, and too much free time. Banshee. The average awful, which I now know is affluent white female liberal, would rather be carjacked than have her arm broken than not be able to virtue signal. It's a mental illness. Tim on point. Listen and understand that the liberal white woman is out here. It cannot be bargained with. It cannot be reasoned with. It does not feel pity or remorse or sanity. And it absolutely will not stop ever until you're dead. Hard to argue with that. I've often said the most dangerous demographic on earth is the affluent white female liberal. One might think it's hyperbole. How could that be? I mean, they're just women with graduate degrees. What you must understand, though, is that a person's capacity to do damage is directly correlated with their proximity to power. Is an awful going to commit a bombing? Probably not. Will they make up the most reliable voting bloc for policies that lead to the downfall of civilization? You bet they will. Will they win congressional seats and run for president? Absolutely. Will they use every ounce of authority they acquire to tear down everything you once knew and in favor of self-destructive virtue signaling? There is no reasoning with them. Aggressive crime is just something you have to deal with so that wine-sipping white left-wing women can continue to be an ally to feed their savior complex. There's no reasoning with them. Appeals to freedom and logic do not apply. And this is their world. You're just living in it. You'll be subject to their worst instincts and the most perverted desires. And if you object, you'll be labeled a misogynist. They aren't going away. They aren't going to stop. They will not rest until there's nothing left. And they intend to accomplish their goals without ever firing a shot. There is no more dangerous demographic on Earth. Yeah, I would agree with that. Unfortunately, I was able to archive this post. Dear Donald Trump. Now, at the time, it had just 3,000 replies to 200 likes. Over the weekend, it got close to 20,000 replies and 300 likes. Let's look at some of these replies. FAFO, but isn't Chicago mega country? The red cloths mean something different there, referring to the Bloods, I imagine. By the way, there are no red hats here. That's not what Jussie said. Are you calling him a liar? Jussie Smollett would disagree with your assertion that there are no red hats, especially in the dead of winter. And don't forget, at 2 a.m. outside of a Subway sandwich is. Too bad we voted for this. I've broken my arm a few times. That arm's not broken. It's definitely not broken, because if it was broken, it would be in a hard cast, not a ace bandage. It's probably sprained. And what's wild is this woman, like, looks at fancy cars for a living or something like that. I mean, I don't really know why you would say that you getting carjacked is some kind of own. You know, I bet you love the new Cracker Barrel. I can't wait for the next thing. Keep us updated. Oh, wow, guys, look, I can smile after somebody carjacked me. That means it's okay. You know, sometimes just staying quiet is the best option. Here's Cat Turd. When you've been mad for 6 months and still have 3.5 years to go, crime victim is so TDS, she's pro-crime. I mean, that's how these people are, and it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like, the number of articles spawned from this, I just think that there's this, you know, I don't know where she lives. I don't want to know where she lives. But I could tell you I guarantee you it's a suburb. She doesn't live in downtown Chicago. She was probably in Chicago for a wine tasting, right? She was in Chicago for a wine tasting and she got carjacked. That's what happened. You know, liberal white woman in Chicago gets mangled during carjacking, still sends unhinged message to Trump. The insufferable liberal white women in this country are getting out of control. Which is saying something, because I thought we had peaked. Unfortunately, we have most certainly not buckled up for this dude. This is another article. Our latest journey takes us to the crime-riddled Chicago, where one unhinged Kamala voter tweeted Sunday morning that she had recently been mangled during a carjacking. That said, that's called Tuesday in Chicago, by the way. So that in itself isn't even the story here. The story revolves around the picture she posted and the insane message she included, aimed at everyone's favorite president, Donald J. Trump. My God, the libs are the best. They are the gift that absolutely refuses to stop giving. Imagine for a second getting your arm crushed to dust during a carjacking. Then the first thing you do is get on social media to virtue signal about it. Imagine waking up every day and having that mindset. It's a disease. This is what Trump derangement syndrome looks like. The libs are so fake mad about Trump taking over DC and cleaning it up that they'd rather break a limb than admit he's right. This is where we are in America on a college football Saturday, no less. I cannot wait for Trump to take over Chicago and stick it to that fat governor sometime soon. Look, I think that the citizens, I talk about this all the time. I feel bad for people who are stuck in the cities. I really do. I feel bad for people that are stuck in the cities because these white liberal women keep like implying that just because they're black and inner city, they must want crime. I mean, that's the storyline here. This woman, I guarantee you, does not live in downtown Chicago. I just guarantee it. Guaranteed. If she does, she lives in the 2-block radius where there are actually police. She got absolutely mangled into oblivion. The world is healing. I am 100% for Trump cleaning up these cities. People shouldn't have to be living like this. People shouldn't be trapped by rampant crime and inept leadership. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.